Chapter 3. No distractions, no shortcuts, no compromises. Cruz. The same afternoon, La Jolla, California. The auditorium fills with 150 employees, and growing, each face a piece of what began as 6 people above a coffee shop and a hypothesis I refuse to let die. Standing here still feels surreal, facing a room of some of biotech's brightest minds, all focused on me, waiting for words that could determine the trajectory of their careers and the future of genetic medicine itself. Now VC firms circle like sharks sensing blood in the water. The FDA watches our every move with scrutiny reserved for companies on the verge of changing everything. And partnerships align like dominoes waiting for the right moment to fall into place. But none of that external validation matters without delivery, without results that justify the faith people have placed in my vision. I approach the podium, scanning the crowd with the analytical precision that has served me well in every aspect of building this company. I calculate what they need to hear, what will inspire confidence without overpromising, what will remind them why they chose to bet their careers on something that didn't exist 5 years ago. Let's skip the corporate fluff, I begin, my voice carrying easily through the auditorium's acoustics. You know me, I don't do empty speeches or motivational theater. A few knowing laughs ripple through the audience, the kind that comes from people who've watched me strip away unnecessary pleasantries in favor of substance since the day they joined this company. I'm here to explain exactly why what we're building isn't just important or innovative or groundbreaking. It's inevitable. I can see them leaning forward now, the shift in body language that indicates I have their complete attention, their willingness to follow wherever this explanation leads. 6 months ago, Onyx Helix could analyze full genomes in 15 minutes, a breakthrough that put us years ahead of our closest competitors. Last month, we reduced that processing time to 3 minutes. Today, I pause, allowing the anticipation to build. Under half a second. The silence that follows is profound, the kind that happens when people are processing information that challenges their understanding of what's possible. That means ultra-targeted, CRISPR-based gene edits tailored to individual mutation profiles with precision that was theoretical just months ago. Aggressive cancers that once meant certain death aren't just treatable, they're curable. Instantly. With minimal side effects. What we're accomplishing in our labs today will be written into medical history textbooks tomorrow. The silence stretches for another heartbeat before erupting into applause. Not the obligatory town hall courtesy clapping I've endured at other companies, but with genuine enthusiasm that says, "Holy shit, we're actually changing the world." I step back to make room for Vivian Drake, our CFO, and the tactical genius responsible for keeping Onyx Helix financially razor sharp in an industry where promising technology dies daily from poor resource management. She slides past me with practiced grace, her movement deliberate, as her arm brushes against mine in a contact that lingers just slightly longer than professional courtesy requires. Vivian is attractive, certainly, sharp-featured in the way that photographs well, polished to the kind of perfection that announces competence before she speaks. But she's not my type, and more importantly, I don't mix business with pleasure. Ever. The complications that arise from workplace relationships threaten the focus I need to maintain, creates vulnerabilities I can't afford. Applause fade, the decisions don't. Even as Vivian launches into her presentation about quarterly projections and burn rates, my mind moves 10 steps ahead to problems and opportunities no one else in this room can see yet. My father pushes constantly for expansion, bigger facilities, faster growth, scaling before we're ready because he believes momentum is everything. The board grows increasingly restless, wanting to close the next funding round immediately so they can capitalize on our current success while the market is paying attention. I don't move for money, I move for results I can defend. If that disappoints a board or delays a round, so be it. Onyx Helix isn't just a company to me. It's everything I've built from scratch, everything I've sacrificed personal relationships and normal experiences to create, everything I refuse to let anyone compromise through poor decisions or short-sighted thinking. No distractions, no shortcuts, no compromises. Only results that justify the faith people have placed in my vision. Later that afternoon, my office settles into the kind of quiet that should be peaceful, but instead feels heavy with unfinished thoughts and decisions that can't be delayed much longer. Outside my windows, the sun hangs low over Torrey pines, casting long shadows across the coastal landscape and stretching time like a lingering reminder of another day slipping past without resolution. I should be reviewing the latest R&D reports, preparing talking points for tomorrow's investor call, responding to the emails that have accumulated while I've been avoiding my desk. Instead, I find myself staring at the untouched glass of scotch that's been sitting on my desk since 4 o'clock, thinking about things that shouldn't matter but somehow keep demanding my attention anyway. Expectation has ruled my life for as long as I can remember, shaping every decision and priority until the weight of other people's faith in my potential became both motivation and burden. My father built me for outcomes. Failure wasn't presented as an option. My mother kept asking about the cost, and that achievement without relationships is hollow. Between them, I learned two truths. Control preserves the work, and connection tests whether it's worth preserving. I've always chosen the first. Even now, years into building my own success independent of his influence, I can hear his voice, calm, measured, absolutely certain, explaining why everything I do must serve a greater purpose.
You don't waste time on things that don't matter, Cruz. You don't waste potential on pursuits that won't contribute to your legacy. You execute with precision, and you deliver results that justify the resources invested in your success.
I have followed that philosophy religiously. Onyx Helix proves that his approach works, that discipline and focus can transform theoretical concepts into revolutionary reality. But my mother offered different counsel throughout my childhood. Softer guidance, more concerned with the human cost of relentless ambition. She was always urging me to slow down, to remember that achievement without meaningful relationships is hollow, that success means nothing if you have no one to share it with. She worried about me then, and I suspect she still worries about me now, though she's learned to express those concerns more subtly.
You focus so much on the science, Cruz.
She would say during our increasingly rare phone conversations.
But who is it for? What else is there beyond the work and the achievements and the recognition?
I never had an adequate answer for her questions, never needed one, because the work has always been enough to fill whatever space might otherwise be occupied by doubt or loneliness or restless dissatisfaction that drives other people toward relationships and family obligations. I study my reflection in the dark office window, taking inventory of what I've become. 6'2" of effortless composure, the presence that commands attention without requiring effort. Sharp suit tailored to emphasize the disciplined physique I maintain through rigorous exercise and careful nutrition. Precision in every movement, every word, every decision. A man people respect, fear, trust to deliver what he promises. Women gravitate toward me at industry events and social gatherings, drawn by success and the confidence that comes from knowing exactly what I want and how to get it. Investors trust me with massive amounts of capital because I've never failed to exceed projections. Competitors want to be me, or at least want access to whatever formula has made my approach so consistently effective. But I don't need attachments beyond the professional relationships that serve clear purposes. Personal connections complicate things, create emotional vulnerabilities that can be exploited, introduce variables that threaten the kind of laser focus required to build something revolutionary. Every interaction I allow into my life is calculated, efficient, necessary, never cruel, never recklessly dismissive, just controlled in ways that protect what matters most. Because control is everything in a world where one wrong decision can destroy years of careful progress. My phone buzzes against the polished surface of my desk, the sound sharp in the evening quiet. Damien.
Saddle Bar, Solana Beach, tonight. Don't make me hunt you down, jackass.
I smirk despite my contemplative mood. Damien doesn't do subtle requests or polite suggestions, never has since we were teenagers navigating the social hierarchies of high school together. Me, busy. The response comes back instantly, as if he was waiting by his phone for my predictable deflection. Damien.
You're not that busy. Stop being a pretentious CEO bitch and get over here. I have news that requires immediate attention and alcohol.
I exhale, shaking my head at his complete inability to accept no as a final answer. Damien is my opposite in almost every way. Too much energy, too many words, too vulgar for his own good, completely incapable of the kind of restraint that has served me well in business. But he's also one of the few people who actually knows me, who remembers who I was before success created distance between me and everyone else. When he says he has something important to discuss, I listen, because his judgment has proven reliable, even when his delivery lacks finesse. I grab my keys from the desk drawer, deciding that whatever news requires his urgent attention is probably worth investigating. Time to see what's so important that it can't wait for a more convenient moment.